Today is all about money. The current balance of federal student loans nationwide is $902 billion, and people are going to extremes to pay it off. Last month, an anonymous parent posted an ad on Craigslist offering to sell his body parts to pay for his kids' $200,000 in student loans. Today, we're going to take a look at the smart way to budget and how to stop finances from stressing you out.
You know all the questions you ask the internet because you're too scared to say them out loud? Well, it's time to stop being afraid and start talking. Relationships, college, jobs, celebrities, social issues, and sex. Then we'll get into the taboo stuff.
The Chelsea Krost Show, a fresh take on talk.
Our first guest is Manisha Thakur. She earned her MBA from Harvard, her BA from Wellesley, is the author of 2 personal finance books, and is here as an expert from GoGirlFinance.com. Thank you so much for being here today.
Chelsea, it's great to be with you.
You're such a smart cookie, and I'm so excited to pick your brain. You know, the average college student is graduating with $27,000 worth of college debt, and we're really going to extremes to help pay it off. You know, we have websites like seekingarrangements.com, and people are selling their sperm and their eggs. I mean, do you think that these are the best alternatives to help pay for college?
No, not at all. And it's interesting because what it shows is how strongly people value education, and that is a wonderful thing. And I think the key message to get out there is there are a number of alternatives. You can go to a website like savingforcollege.com, for example, and see lots of practical, much less painful or potentially embarrassing ways to get those vital funds to pay for school.
Right, and you know, there's so many ways to educate ourselves because of the internet on the alternatives and the loan options that are out there for college students. So what are some of the great websites that we should start to know so we don't seek the more extreme alternatives?
It's a great question. Again, I think Saving for College is a great site to start out at. Another one, of course, that I like is GoGirlFinance.com. At Go Girl Finance, we have wonderful tips for not just girls, guys as well, on where to look for scholarships, grants, how to think about how much to spend on college and education to begin with. So you really can invest in your knowledge base before you start investing your hard-earned dollars.
You know, and I think when people think of budgeting, they immediately feel restricted, and let's be honest, I mean, budgeting isn't that sexy. So when we're going into college and creeping out of college, how do we start budgeting but not feel restricted and choked?
So, I mean, I think one of the first things that you can do is give yourself an hourly wage. So, for instance, if you're, if you are able to earn $15 an hour, let's say, doing any type of odd jobs, and you see something that costs $150 that you want to buy, do the math. $150 divided by $15 an hour, that means it's 10 hours of work. And then Chelsea, you can say, how bad do I want it? Do I want it 10 hours bad?
You know, that's such a great point because I don't think that we think that way. And, you know, when we're in college, sometimes, you know, that's when we experience having our own credit card. And so a lot of us have to worry about the student loan debt that we face at the end of college, and then hopefully not credit card debt.
Right.
How do we avoid that?
So Chelsea, the number one thing to do is to know that when you put something on a credit card and you make only the minimum monthly payment, it's kind of like you're borrowing from a loan shark. A typical card with a mid-teens interest rate and a 3% minimum monthly payment, say you buy a $100 pair of jeans on that, by the time you're done paying off the interest, it's $180 you've just spent. So you're paying nearly double. So the goal is don't put anything on a credit card that you can't pay off in full when the bill comes.
Great advice. Okay. Now, I love educating people on the benefits of a 401k plan and a Roth IRA, and I think that people don't know how to break it down and understand the benefit and then do the numbers.
Right.
Can you explain that to us?
Sure. So that alphabet soup boils down to this. A 401k and an IRA are just 2 different types of accounts in which you can save money in the workplace or on your own with special tax benefits, and that's the reason why you want to start using them.
And now explain the numbers to us.
So this is the really exciting part. If at 25 you start saving $5,000 a year in one of these tax deferred vehicles, and you earn an average of 7% a year, by the time you're 65, Chelsea, you are a millionaire.
I mean, that's amazing. That's ludicrous numbers, and it's so doable.
$5,000 a year at age 25, every year at 65, you're a millionaire. And when people realize that, you don't have to win the lotto, you don't have to pick the next Apple or Google investment. that's what you need to do. It's just requires some discipline.
And discipline is key, and learning how to budget and saving young only makes it easier as we get older. So don't go away. Manisha and I are sticking around to play a game called Save or Splurge. We'll be right back.